Toasties. I'm Missy, here with my bestie Johnsy.
Hey, y'all.
And welcome to our Toasted Shenanigans. She started dancing, so I started dancing. My niece does this all the time, too.
I'm a little tired, so I'm getting a little goofy.
Gotta get the wiggles in and out, you know? Gotta do
Gotta
that.
settle into your bones.
Okay, so what are you drinking? Because I now need to know like what that face was all about earlier.
So it's made by 1911. It's actually a hard cider, which I'm not a huge fan of ciders, but I saw this.
I love ciders.
And I couldn't resist the can because it's spooky. So
you and your cans.
I know, but it's an apple cider candy corn hard cider.
Ew. I mean, I love candy corn. Fuck all of you who want to get at me about it. Go ahead. I love candy corn
too, especially little pumpkins.
I like the pumpkins, but I prefer just regular old candy corn. You know what I'm not a big fan of is the chocolate ones.
They're okay.
They're not like, if I had to rank all of them, the chocolate ones would be at the bottom. I would take a pumpkin over the chocolate ones.
I love the pumpkin. I always buy the all bag of pumpkin.
Yeah. Do you? I love candy corn. I bought myself, because I don't have my braces anymore, so I can eat them again. Let me tell you, I bought a bag.
But no, it's not bad. See, the can's cute. And candy corn.
That is cute.
But
that is
I didn't realize it was going to be this sweet. I probably should have, since it's candy corn. But also on the side of the can, it has a sweetness scale, and it's all the way up to a 6. So if you really like really sweet ciders, this is for you. But for me, it's going to be a 5.
Oh, I have to try that now, though. Cause
you might like it.
And, of course, I can't try that right now because, yet again,
we're virtual.
Lame. We live way too busy lives for this, but we love doing it too much. Oof. So to all of you who are listening, thank you for still being here with us today.
Yes, absolutely.
You guys are the best.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking something new today.
Yay! What is it?
And it is supposed to be a seltzer, but I call bullshit on that because I would never call this a seltzer. And I like the can too because it is called frozen pizza and it's got a pizza on it.
That's pretty cool.
But it is called a Kool-Aid inspired hard seltzer. And it tastes like fucking fruit punch Kool-Aid. That's it. It tastes like fruit punch Kool-Aid. It tastes like a Tahitian treat. I love this thing so fucking much. It is so good.
Is it sparkly at all? Like seltzer would be?
It's supposed... Yeah, it is. And it's not... I would call this more like a fucking wine cooler, but it's not a malt beverage, which is apparently why it's a seltzer. There's some logistic rules of what classifies alcohol what. I'm not calling this... It's alcoholic juice. It's delicious. And a few of these will fuck me up because you do not taste anything but juice.
It's a nicer version. No, because that's malt. Never mind. Just kidding. Scratch that.
Yeah. So I was at the meat place and I got to enjoy being there, like the last people there. Mm-hmm. And he was talking with my stepdad and he brought that out. And he's like, oh, you'll like it. It's a seltzer. And I'm like, motherfucker, I don't drink seltzers. I ain't no bitch. And he's like, I'm going to change your mind on seltzers then. I'm like, bet you won't. And he poured that. I'm like, this ain't no seltzer. It's a juice.
That's not made by him, though, is it?
No, okay. It is not made by him.
He just had it there.
But it's made by Fun Guys Brewing, which is in North Carolina. But because he's in the alcohol business and stuff like that, so with like local breweries and all that other kind of stuff, he gets access to other things. Cool. So I would have never ever found this or tried it because it's not sold in stores.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's delicious. I'll give you one to try when I see you next time.
Okie dokie. I'll bring you some of this candy corn.
I want to try it.
Double toil and trouble.
I like that. The can is cute. I just also do like that this has a pizza on it because your girl here likes some pizza.
Everybody loves pizza.
I eat it every week. I know some people who don't, and they're weird. I love them, but they're weird. So, how was your day?
Oh, it's full of work. How was yours?
Yeah, your days are been full
Yeah,
of
I know.
work, and it's getting ridiculous.
I'm a workaholic. I can't help it.
You are, but it's been like extra. But hopefully it's temporary.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. My day was eventful. We had, my kids' football game this morning. We lost. We've come to learn that rain is the team's kryptonite because they were all like pumped and ready to go, but then it started downpouring. I was fucking soaked.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys just totally shut down after that. We lost. We horribly lost to a team that has yet to win this season.
That's a pretty cold rain this morning, too. I'm surprised I didn't.
It was. I was freezing cold. My hair was wet. My everything was. I was soaked. I had to come home, change my whole outfit. And then we went Halloween shopping for my son's Halloween costume.
Ooh.
So both my kids have their costumes now.
Where are they going to be?
Angel's Cinderella. She's got the most fanciest ball gown. I mean, we're talking.
That's very girly for her. I'm surprised.
Yeah, but we're talking fancy. Hold on, because you can still see things.
Oh, shit. She's gorgeous. I love it. Tell her to stop fucking growing up.
Look at those shoes.
Holy shit. Did you find those at Spirit?
Target.
This is some platform disco shoes.
They're so pretty on her, though. Like, so pretty. I think they're really pretty. And I could see her wear them any other time besides this costume because she's that way. And Bubba's going to be Jack Skeleton.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So when I was pregnant with him, too, Angel was Sally for Halloween. And I wore a white shirt. And I drew Jack Skeleton on my belly. And wore Nightmare for Christmas leggings. So this isn't the first time Jackson was Jack Skeleton.
You should
This is just the first time.
You should dress up
alive.
Dakota or Kaiser to be Zero.
That's what Jackson said. He's like, I want Dakota to be Zero.
That's cute. I
Put a
love
little
it.
thing on her nose. Dakota's also dealing with a real bad bladder infection.
Oh, poor puppy.
Yeah, she's got a real bad bladder infection and crystals in her urine. So now she's on a special prescription diet. It's a whole thing. It's been a thing lately. I've been dealing with the mostest lately.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, what are we talking about?
So a few weeks ago now, I did the story of Annalise Mitchell and her exorcism. And my wonderful husband and your wonderful man was a little co-host with me because you were ill. And my lovely husband brought up the movie The Exorcist, and that being based off of a true story. And I was like, no, that's not a true story. That was just a story someone made up. But I mean, the movie did really well. Well, you pointed out he was right and I was wrong. So I'm telling the world right now, he was right and I was wrong. So anybody wants to sit there and say I don't do that, here I am.
And Lloyd's got it on recording.
Publicly. Yep, he has it recorded. He's just going to say that you were right and I was wrong, snip,
Yep.
and just like replay it over and over. Yeah. Yes, so it is based off of true events. Now, we'll go into the events. It's there's not too much on the situation of what exactly happened. So The Exorcist was based off of true events, and it was inspired by some true events that had happened. Obviously, differences in the story and what really had happened, per the usual when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Of course.
It was a book first before it was a movie. So there is a lot of that kind of stuff. So we can kind of go into it. So the book and movie came out around the 1970s. The event happened in the 1940s. So it wasn't even that long ago. And the person that the book is and the movie is based off of was what then they called a pseudonym was Ronald Doe. But his real name was, give me a minute, where'd I put it? Ronald Hunkler.
Hunkler. That's a name.
Hunkeler.
Hunkler.
Mm-hmm.
Was he hunky? Oh.
No, in my opinion, but
Teach the own flavor.
so exactly. Exactly. So, and then in the movie, obviously, everybody knows that it's actually a little girl named
Mm-hmm.
Reagan. But what it started as is just this kid who was really close to his aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a very spiritual person. He one time asked her like about a Ouija board,
Okay.
and she got him one.
Oh no, we don't fuck with those.
Well, you know what really blew my mind about it? It was like 1940s.
Yeah. The Ouija board
1940.
came out.
I know, but like wouldn't think about that, Like it's 1940s Ouija boards being like whatever. Well, unfortunately, she had passed away, and it was really devastating
The
for
little boy.
Ronald. Yeah, because he apparently was, like I said, very close with her. And when she had passed away, he wanted to reach out to her or whatever. And that is when all these demonic things started to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It was shortly after he had done this. Now, there was also reports that allegedly this 14-year-old boy was victims of these demonic possessions, and that they were recorded. But it started off with him hearing like scratches and bangings on the walls, hearing water drippings, to eventually going into those full demonic,
Yeah.
possessions of being like his voice is starting to change and he's acting erratical and stuff like that. So then that is when, his aunt's name was Harriet. I was looking for that. Aunt Harriet. How cool of a name is that?
You and those names.
I
You
love
like
names.
the
I love
old
names.
lady names. Gertrude.
I just love names
Harriet.
in general. Gertrude, Harriet. Yeah.
You're an old woman.
I kind of am sometimes. So,
Anyways, back to the story.
is it? Back to the story. So he heard the scratching sounds coming from the floor and the walls of his room. He'd heard the water dripping from the pipes, but the most troubling of all was his mattress would suddenly move. And of course, they were disturbed, and his family just instantly decided to seek out help because he's, going through all this. Now, he was born to a German Lutheran family. So with Annalise, they were German Catholics. His family was German Lutheran. So they reached doctors and psychiatrists and even their local Lutheran minister, but there was no help. And eventually Father E. Albert Hughes, who was the local Catholic priest, is who they got in contact with. And that is when they decided to start doing the exorcisms on the young teenager. And they started those in late February of 1949.
Okay.
And with Annalise's story, it seemed like there was a process still to get those exorcisms done for her. Whereas with what I was finding with him, it was pretty easy almost.
Well, did they go through the Vatican?
Yeah, that's the thing. It was almost like they just like reached out to this priest and he reached out to somebody and he was like, yeah, they said we can go for it.
I wonder if it was actually through the Vatican then. Because Annalise was through the Vatican, right?
Hers, they went through the whole line. I mean, she got denied quite a few times before finally they were allowed to do it. Now, where they messed up with Annalise's story is the fact that they should have gotten medical help after a while, and they didn't.
Yeah.
They just kept doing the exorcisms, and unfortunately, that poor girl died when she could have been saved. For the exorcisms, Father Hughes, he did strap the boy to a mattress, and he would begin his, procedures, the recitations. But he did have to stop when Ronald broke off a piece of the mattress spring and apparently slashed the priest across the shoulder, which left the exorcism unfinished.
Huh.
There was days later where red scratches did appear on Ronald, and one of the scratches formed the words Lois, which indicated to Ronald's mother that the family needed to go to, or Louis, sorry, and which apparently they felt that that means that they needed to go to St. Louis.
What?
Apparently they had relatives there, and they were trying to find a way to just save their son.
Okay.
So a cousin of the family was attending St. Louis University at the time of Ronald's struggles. So she put the that cousin got Ronald's family in touch with Father Walter and Reverend William. And apparently after consulting with the university's presidents, these two, there were Jesuits. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
What is that?
So they went from, I have no idea. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Jesuits are members of the Society of Jesus. It's it's another form of Roman Catholics.
Oh, okay. All right. I've never heard of that before.
I never did either. That's why I was like, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I was like, I hope I was pronouncing that correctly. But they too agreed to perform an exorcism on young Ronald, and they had many others to help assist that. So the men gathered at a residence on Roanoke Drive in early March of 1949. So we're only a month in. And there the exorcist witnessed scratchings on the boy's body and the mattress moving violently. These were the same types of things that had happened in the original Exorcist that failed in Maryland, because that's where he was originally from, was Maryland. Amid these bizarre happenings, Bowdern and Holland, the two new priests that joined in, according to the reports, they noticed a pattern in Ronald's behavior. He was calm and normal during the day, but at night, after settling in for bed, he would exhibit strange behaviors, including screaming and wild outbursts. So a lot of these things would only happen at night.
Okay.
Ronald would also enter a trance-like state and start making sounds in a guttural voice. So, with Annalise, we talked a little bit about that too, that she would get in those trance-like states. And that was the beginning of her, what they thought was possession.
Yeah.
And that's what really got them into that idea that soon that it was happening, especially when it came to her behavior towards objects. The priest also said they saw objects mysteriously flying in the boy's presence and noted that he would react violently when he saw any sacred objects presented by the attending Jesuits. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So all of these stories from the true story of The Exorcist made it into the film, but there were more that didn't.
Okay.
So a lot of those things you saw with like Reagan in the movie, where like things would fly across the room. She had those cuts and scratches on her body, you know, all the scratchy sounds and stuff like that. Those all were kind of in that movie, which it's October, guys. I hope you all got a chance to watch it. I have not yet. But apparently at one point during the week's long ordeals, one of the priests reportedly saw an X appear in scratches on Ronald's chest, which the police, police, oh my gosh, the priest. I don't know why I did that.
I think you're still in nap mode.
Probably. The priest believed signified the number 10. So like that Roman numeral.
Yeah.
Golly, I can't speak. Huh. I don't like this approach of how I decided to do this story today. It's making me jumbled. Um,
Give us a moment, guys.
I
We'll get our shit together.
I need to hold on. BRB, guys. I'll have this edited out. I need a minute.
Oh, Lord. Now she's gone into a laughing fit. Oh, she's still asleep.
No, but that laughing's gonna put me to sleep. My narcoleptic ass is gonna fall real quick. It's laughing that gets me sleepy. I'm getting warm. Okay, I'm back.
You sure? Are we sure
think
it's
so.
you?
Oh,
Maybe you're trying a different approach.
I did say I was taking another approach on this, you
Oh
guys.
shit! I hit the mic. Sorry, Lloyd.
Hey, I'm fucking up left and right here. You know, maybe we should leave this. We're gonna leave this for you guys. It's funny. So, in another incident, a pitchfork-shaped pattern of red lines moved from the boy's thigh and snaked down towards his ankle. So these types of things happened every night for more than a month. And once a red X appeared on his chest, that's when that led the priest to believe that he was possessed by 10 demons.
10?
Apparently, yeah. So the two priests, they never gave up as they continued the exorcisms night after night. And on the evening of March 20th, the exorcism reached an unhealthy new level. Ronald urinated all over his bed and began shouting and cursing at the priests. Now, Ronald's parents, they had had enough, and they took him to a hospital in St. Louis for more serious treatment. So at least his parents jumped in and said, like, okay, look, something else is going on. Like, these exorcisms aren't working.
And this isn't
like, we
healthy.
need to get some.
Yeah.
So finally, on April 18th, a miracle occurred in Ronald's room at the hospital. It was the Monday after Easter, and Ronald woke with seizures. He yelled at the priest, saying that Satan would always be with him.
Okay.
Yeah. The priest laid holy relics, crucifix, medals, and rosaries on the boy. And at 10:45 that evening, the attending priests called on St. Michael to expel Satan from Ronald's body. They shouted at Satan, saying that St. Michael's soul, or they shouted saying that St. Michael would battle him for Ronald's soul.
Yeah.
7 minutes later, Ronald came out of his trance and said, he's gone. The teenager recounted how he had a vision that St. Michael vanquishing Satan on a great battlefield.
Huh. But I thought you needed the demon's name to exorcise the demon. I don't think it works like that. That sounds a little...
Well, he said the demon's name was Satan. So Satan was the one that apparently... Satan himself showed up to this one.
But you just told me there was 10 of them. So you're telling me...
Exactly.
Maybe, like, Satan just made an appearance, and then he heard Michael's involved, and he's like, oh, shit, I gotta go. That's not how it works.
I know. So I'm going to get into that part next.
Okay.
Because
I'm jumping ahead.
yeah. Now I am going to put a BRB right here, and Lloyd is going to have to edit this part out because he did just text me of what I want for dinner. And I can't focus on telling the story and answering this question at the same time. So Lloyd is going to have no choice but to edit that part
He's
out.
making more work for himself.
He is.
All right, this stuff is kind of growing me, kind of not. I don't know. It's got like a creamy taste to it.
I bet.
Grab your broom, wake up the dead, and make sure those bolts are screwed in your head. We're venturing into the haunted orchard for some spooky sights. Witches, goblins, and ghosts will supply the frights. The moon shines high and signs forewarn of the spookiest flavor yet, candy corn. Sorry, I had to read that. I've been like, what does that say?
I love it. At first, I thought I texted him crispy, horny shrimp.
Sorry, that was really loud.
It doesn't matter. He's going to edit this.
Crispy, horny tip.
I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to be in for some comments on that one.
I was told there was a new Exorcist movie that was released today.
Yes, it is. And it has the mother from the original Exorcist in it.
Was she like great-grandma?
She's older. I don't know what. I think she kind of comes in for more like, you had experience with this. What's going on?
Oh. Oh, kind of like an Insidious. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, there is a new Exorcist movie coming out. It has the original mother, Reagan's mother, in it. I believe that's her character. That's what was her character, was the mother for Reagan.
Okay.
But it's two new little girls who are possessed. There's actually a scene that plays, and as like one of the previews, and I die laughing because they're like in church, and she just comes walking down the like center aisle, and she's like screaming, "The body and blood of Christ, the body and blood of Christ." But the way she does it, I just die laughing because of how she.
It'd be perfect if they were doing communion or something.
But they weren't. Like, everybody else is sitting down in the movie, and she just comes like walking down the center aisle of the church, and she's just like screaming, "The body and blood of Christ, the body and blood of Christ." And I'm like,
I've got to look this up now.
oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Okay, so back on task. So yeah, says that he's gone. Battlefield happened. So according to the priests, the strange occurrences and behavior ceased after that. So despite that, providing the true story of the Exorcist, Ronald actually went to live a completely normal life after this.
Yeah.
Faker. He went on to live.
Sorry. Fucking poser.
Poser. So he went on to live a completely normal life. He actually ended up working for NASA, and he kept this whole ordeal completely hidden.
I was about to say, I would never get on any kind of spaceship that he helped with, or any formula he calculated to go towards it. Nope.
Yeah, he kept this secret hidden from the world on it because he didn't want people to do that. The book about this did not come out until 1971. It was by the author named William Peter Blatty. And he did it based off of apparently the diaries of the two priests that actually finished the exorcism. And it actually stayed on the bestsellers list for 54 weeks.
Oh.
And that's when the movie The Exorcist came out in 1973.
I will have to look this book up. I actually didn't know that was a book prior. I did not know that fact. But I'd be totally interested in reading it as my...
I want to read the book too. I have always known it was a book. I didn't read it. So like I said, the movie took a lot of the sources from it, but they changed a few things per the usual. Ronald's a boy, Reagan's a girl, but they did the two are names, so close enough, right?
I guess so.
The movie story also takes place entirely in DC and the Georgetown area, but the actual true story is in Cottage. I gotta find that now.
Yeah, I've actually been to Georgetown to see the steps.
The stairs.
That's really cool.
Yep. Yeah.
I was fangirling.
That stairs. I'm sure you were. So, yeah, it was Cottage City. I don't know why I want to say Cottage Town, probably something in Georgetown, but it was actually in Cottage City, Maryland, is where this young boy was
I did
living
not realize.
now.
Oh, he's living now. Oh.
Well, he is now dead.
Oh.
He died in 2020.
I wonder if... Never mind. I'm not going to say it. That's bad. Just kidding. Keep my thoughts to myself.
He did die. Yeah. So he did pass away May 10th of 2020.
Okay.
His real name was Ronald Edwin Hunkler.
Okay.
Now, there have been some investigations on this story. And I wanted to share those.
Please do.
Because just like Annalise Mitchell in her situation, her very unfortunate situation. I'm glad that this kid didn't die
Yeah,
and something didn't
but it
happen.
seems like in her case it was a little more real because in a lot of exorcisms, I can't talk either. A lot of exorcisms, um, you see where whoever is possessed gets extremely ill. So it makes sense. I'm sorry, that death would follow if they can't recover, especially since her parents didn't get her help afterwards.
Yeah, and with Annalise Mitchell, she was not possessed. I'm sorry, she wasn't. She unfortunately had a brain disease that just sorry, my throat's like ugh. But she had a brain disease that she was actually getting medication and help, and they were doing the EEGs. I think the problem is they were just expecting that medication to work 100% of the time. And I think with that disease, because your brain is always moving and evolving and stuff like that, that you have to constantly keep monitoring it, changing and tweaking your medication with epilepsy, and that's what she had.
Well, what year was she again? It was early too, right?
Yeah, it was around the same time.
Yeah, so medicine, I mean, it was advanced,
Was
but it
it
was not that far advanced. So,
was advanced enough for them to do an EEG on her, so that's a good
yeah.
thing. I mean, that's a brain scan. So, like I said, there was in the case of Ronald, there was some investigations and explanations done for his situation. So there was a book in 1993 called Possessed, The True Story of the Exorcism. And that was authored by Thomas B. Allen. And he offered the consensus of today's experts that Robbie was just a deeply disturbed boy. Nothing supernatural about him.
I concur.
Author Mark, I cannot pronounce this last name, so I'm going to do my best. Bear with me. Opsasnick,
That
Opsasnick.
sounds like a drug, a pharmaceutical drug.
It does. It does. So he questioned many of the supernatural claims associated with this story and just said that Ronald Doe was simply a spoiled, disturbed bully who threw deliberate tantrums to get attention or to get out of school. Ronald was an only child.
Uh-oh.
Nothing against only
I'm an
children.
only child to one parent.
I was gonna
And
say
I
too,
was
and
not
I mean
spoiled, though.
also with the age gap that you and your sister did have, I've heard this from a lot of people who have that big age
Hmm.
gaps that you do feel kind of like an only child when you have big age
And a
gaps.
different upbringing, so it's a little different. But
Right,
we won't go into all that.
right. No, but he was an only child. Again, nothing against only children. I know lots of wonderful only children situations. But it was reported by Mr. O. I'm gonna call him Mr. O because I cannot pronounce that last name.
Sorry. Keep going.
He reports that one of the priests who was present at the exorcism never heard the boy's voice change.
Hmm.
And that he thought that the boy merely mimicked Latin words he heard clergymen say, rather than gaining a sudden ability to speak Latin. Um, we could also call him Mark. His real name's Mark. Or we'll call him Mark. Mr. O. Mark reported that when marks were found on the boy's body, that the priests failed to check the boy's fingernails to see if he had made the marks himself.
Oh my gosh.
And
Like, that'd be the first thing I'd check.
Mark also questioned the story of Hughes attempting to exorcise the boy and his subsequent injuries, saying he could find no evidence that an episode had actually occurred. That's when he slashed him with the spring of his mattress. There was no actual report of that ever happening. It was just a lot of hearsay. So, during this investigation, Mark discovered that the exorcism did not take place in this area that they claimed it was. Because they said originally that it actually took place in Mount Rainier, Maryland, and that the boy never lived there. He actually lived, like I said, in Cottage City, Maryland. Much of the commonly accepted information about the story is based on hearsay, and there was never any fact check. Nobody investigated it. Nobody looked into seeing how accurate the stories were. And honestly, I think the reason that is because the boy, it was a month long, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm free.
Wait, didn't didn't a priest write the book though?
No,
Oh,
a man wrote the book from the diaries that he got from the priests of the situation.
okay. So, well, I would have to see said diaries. Still, I'm thinking that priest could have been a liar, which
That's
that's not
what's
very priestly of you.
that's what this man from his investigations is finding. There is no there is no evidence of the first priest who visited the boy's home had him ever admitted to Georgetown Hospital, which is what the story of the book went to, um, and requested that the boy be restrained in the hospital, attempting an exorcism of the boy at that hospital, or was ever injured by the boy. And
Yeah, because at a hospital you would have a lot of witnesses.
mhm. There's ample evidence refuting claims that that Father Hughes suffered an emotional breakdown and disappeared from Cottage City community.
Mm.
So, according to Mark, individuals connected to the incident were influenced by their own specializations. To psychiatrist Rob Doe suffered from mental illness,
Mm-hmm.
or Ronald Doe. He had a bunch of different pseudonyms, um, but Ronald suffered from mental illness. To the priest, this was a case of demonic possession. To writers and film video producers, this was just a great story to exploit for profit. Those individual, those involved saw what they were trained to see, um,
Clearly.
and and basically it was a fabricated story of a spoiled brat.
So you just debunked one of the greatest horror movies of all time. You debunked it and said this is not true.
So I technically was still right.
Yes, technically. Technically.
Technically. Whereas Annalise's story was never a possession, and the whole story with the Emily Rose, the real exorcism of Emily Rose, if you guys have not had a chance to yet watch that movie, please do go do so, is again not a demonic possession. It was a poor girl who was ill that they thought was possessed, and because they neglected to get her the medical help, she passed away. And after doing her autopsy, they realized, well, shit, we should have fucking got her the medical attention she needed. She could have lived. And they even said with her autopsy that she could have lived had she gone the day before she died, because she died of dehydration and starvation and things of
Yeah.
that nature. This boy did not die. He was only possessed for a month. And all of a sudden it was just like, he's gone. Satan and St. Michael battled on a field. Like you said from the get go, they thought he had 10 demons. Not once was each demon even mentioned in any of these exorcisms. Apparently, the words that he had blurted out were just what they thought could have been Latin. Nothing actually was confirmed that to be Latin. And none of the stuff was reliable. They said also that nothing, it was quoted, according to Nickel, quote, nothing that was reliably reported in the case was beyond the abilities of a teenager to produce. The tantrums, trances, moved furniture, hurled objects, automatic writing, superficial scratches, and other phenomena were just the kinds of things someone of ours age, and they put ours instead of Ronald, could accomplish just as others have done before and since. Indeed, the elements of poltergeist phenomena, spirit communications, and demonic possession, taken both separately and especially together as one progressed to the other, suggest nothing so much as a role playing involving trickery.
So what about all the stuff that was floating? Was that not really floating? There was no actual evidence of that? Like nothing?
There was no evidence of it. There was all hearsay. So everything that happened was hearsay. Like I said in the beginning, he was very close to his, I think, in my opinion, he was very close to his aunt. his aunt was a very spiritual person.
So he knew about all
She
this
intro-
stuff.
she introduced him to like the Ouija board and things like that. I think yes, I think he had some knowledge already, and I think when she had passed, he just took it hard, and that's okay that he took it hard. You know, people take certain deaths in their family very hard, and I think that's what happened.
Or,
Is
because I'm spinning off in my head over here, what
of course,
if, what if he did play around the Ouija board and was possessed by something, but made a deal with it? Because working for NASA, that's quite an accomplishment.
oh, like how they're saying like celebrities have deals with the devil, and that's why they all
Yeah.
of a sudden get suddenly famous.
Yeah. See?
Ooh.
That could be a possibility. You don't know. And now that
Yeah,
he's,
I don't.
because I was like, well, he's dead now. If he's possessed by demons and they're still in there, then maybe he went to hell. And then, I keep spinning. But
Of course.
that's where my brain's tracking. Anyways,
Oh, he started the whole deal with the
he
devil and
could
then he got
have.
famous. He could have.
He wasn't famous.
You know what? Honestly, though, you listen to some of them famous people and they'll be like, they straight up tell you sometimes. There's a few people who they've straight up said, like, the devil. I mean, that's just the whole conspiracy that's going around with that one. I don't know. I never really delved into it. I just know that's the current conspiracy.
Yeah, about what's his face. We just heard it on the Osbournes podcast. I can't remember his name. I don't know. He dressed up like a devil for. Is it Sam Smith?
Sam Smith. Yeah, they're claiming his
And
demonic whatever.
Rihanna, I think, was like another demonic thing. Or
They dropped Doja Cat. That was one that they really dropped too. That Doja Cat used to be like super cute and made great music, and then all of a sudden she dressed up like as a something.
But I'm sorry,
and that
these
was
people grow up.
oh
They
yeah,
grow up. You
yeah.
find different parts of yourself and become different people throughout your entire lifetime. So it's expected that their music or their character is going to change a bit because it changes based on your life
oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
trends, which
But
that's trendy right now. Evidently, I don't know why.
I have no idea. We were looked down on when we were like looking kind of satanic.
We
Not
grew
that we were
up
devil
in
worshippers.
satanic panic. There's a difference.
Yeah, we were. No, that's true. That's true. And that was brought up in their little podcast. By the way, Osbournes, I hope you listen to us one day because you guys are awesome.
And Jack, you're really
I
fucking
want to be on
hot.
their show
Sorry.
so bad.
How to fit that in?
Sorry to his wife.
I'm not sorry. He's hot. She should be proud.
I'm sure she is. But oh gosh, I want to be on their show so bad. They were so fun.
And he's a libertarian.
I wanna say the things that they say with them.
Yeah.
Because there's things I agree with them. But back on our topic here. We're getting off topic.
Getting all hot and bothered.
So yeah, that like I said, technically my husband was correct. The show was inspired by true events. However, he was wrong because those events were incorrect. Now, the book was not only what I found interesting, and I will delve into more on this part because I found this and I want to know more about it. And I think for next episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. The other part of the story, The Exorcist apparently is based off of, because it's not just this story, was a story of some apparent like possession thing that happened in like the 1600s with the priest and a few nuns. And the priest apparently ended up being burned at the stake.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. There was a whole trial and everything that he did something that caused these nuns to be possessed, apparently. And there was some people burned at the stake for it.
I'd be interested.
So
to
I did
hear
not
more about
delve.
that.
So I'm gonna delve more into that story because that's just a perfect spooky time story that I think we should share for spooky season. But I wanted to stick more to just talking about this one because this was the primary basis of the story of The Exorcist with the little girl Reagan. I have not watched that movie in so long. I can't even remember if she lived in the end or if she died.
She died.
She did die.
Yeah, she died.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a minute too.
Yeah, look.
I've been watching all the ones. The one that's the least popular is the one that's my favorite. It's the Exorcist. Was it like the New Beginning or the Beginning?
Wasn't that supposed to be pre-Reagan? No.
Yeah. It was pre-Reagan.
It was more the priest before Reagan, or no, or was it after Reagan, because he was called upon to do another one after dealing what he did with Reagan. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that one.
Oh no, she's alive.
She did live in the end? I couldn't remember. It's been a minute
Yeah,
since.
she's alive.
Okay.
It's Catherine who dies. That's what I'm thinking of.
Catherine. Was that in a different movie?
No, it's in The Exorcist.
Who's Catherine?
Well, I know we're watching one night because evidently we need to catch up. I don't think I've actually watched The Exorcist probably since I was like 14. So we're talking about 20 years.
Honestly, it's been that long for me too. I was like watched it with my dad, and I remember him telling me when that movie came out on the amount of how horrifying and scary that movie was for its time. And I remember watching it and being like,
because there's nothing.
It's not that scary, Dad.
They're like that besides Universal Monsters, but.
Well, the other movie that was even more terrifying that I will agree for that time, I could totally be like, well, I mean, for The Exorcist, even the graphics of that movie for 1970s.
Yeah, it was really good.
I can see why that was terrifying. Totally can see why that was terrifying. Also, the original Evil Dead. That movie scared me. And for the time that movie came out, because when did the original Evil Dead come out? I know. Oh, I know. Well, you saw the newest one, and I know,
and a lot of people don't like it, but I am truly a fan. I love it. I watch it frequently, and I laugh frequently at it. Don't judge me, but it's amazing, and I fucking love that movie. So
the original Evil Dead came out in 1981.
I was about to say,
and
it was
originally 80s. Yeah, that one came out in the 80s, and it actually was banned originally.
I could see why.
And it is still banned in Finland, Ukraine, and Singapore due to the high level of violence, blood, sex, and gore.
Well, they're just.
And look, it's really funny because I was
poopers.
googling all my information about The Exorcist. That now the new Exorcist keeps popping up in like all my stuff for the new movie that's coming out. I haven't even seen a trailer.
So. I have been so busy that I am way out of date as to what is going on right now.
Oh,
unless it's political. I know nothing else.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're not going to get on that topic.
No.
We did enough of that last episode.
Last few. So thought I'd bring this one up though into the lieu of spooky season.
I love it. Love it.
Good. Now we're trying to sound like the Osbournes over here with our accents. You wanna know who does a really great British accent? My daughter. She wants to be a voice actor.
Oh my God, when she stayed the night, she talked in a British accent almost the entire fucking night.
But she does a really good job at it. Like, it's complete, and she could flip into it so naturally.
Leanne's little boyfriend, or not boyfriend, just friend, was over.
Yeah.
And
he apparently thought it was real.
Completely convinced and whatnot.
Yeah, she told me about it. She was so proud of herself. She wants to do voice acting. She loves that. She wants to do a lot of things. She is an ambitious child.
She's also ADHD, so we jump around a lot.
Yeah.
But we accomplish almost all of it. Just saying.
It takes a little bit sometimes, but yeah, you guys do. The one that impresses me is when my husband will do 10 projects in one day, and it looks like a hodgepodge of a mess. My Virgo OCD is like flipping out.
Just walk away.
And somehow I have to walk away, and then all of a sudden he's like, done. And I'm like, how'd you get 10 projects done in that mess? Although I am the one most of the time behind him, like cleaning up. Because he'll forget. That's okay, though. That's okay. I'm all right doing that.
We all have our project scoopers. I guess Sean's mine.
Yep, I'm his project scooper. It's okay. But yeah, so that is the truth of The Exorcist.
Oh, I enjoyed that. Thank you.
Yeah, little spooks, but I thought it was interesting. When you told me about it being real, I'm like, shut the front door.
I don't believe you.
It's not.
My Virgo ass will not believe it until I investigate it. And then
And
I will admit defeat.
and I did admit defeat, but then again, he was still
Because
wrong.
that's very Virgo of you.
But then I did go down the rabbit hole of the amount of movies that are inspired on true stories.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
that was an interesting one. Like Scream.
Really?
And,
Did not know that one. I'm not a Scream fan, though. I love
I'm not a Scream fan either, but I do want to investigate that person. He might be a story now coming up, guys.
Matthew Lillard, and that's the only reason I will ever watch Scream. But
I love him too.
and I like Ghostface. Like I just like his image, but I think they did an awful job with all of the movies.
Yeah.
But
I honestly, I've never fully watched any of them, so.
back in my day, I did.
Oh, I know you did. I just was like, meh. I was not impressed.
I didn't watch the last one released, but I watched the one before that, and I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
But
No, I haven't. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you for listening to that.
that was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Nice, sweet, and short. I figured and also a little fun story for to have you all come down from our last episode.
Yeah, last couple ones were really intense. We need a little break.
Yeah, we do. But we still want to be here with you guys, so we're going to keep them short and simple and cute and fun and lighthearted and enjoy the rest of our spooky season because it's our favorite season. Haven't gotten the pumpkin patch yet, though. I'm really kind of sad. We'll probably have to do it real late this year.
Yeah, we're slacking.
That's okay. We're slacking.
Yeah, life is happening. It's happening hard.
It's happening real hard. It's happening real hard. But make sure you guys are liking and following and sharing and telling your friends from the rooftops about
Tell
us.
your neighbor.
Please, thank you. Tell your neighbors. Let them know that we're here to tell you guys the stories that you want to hear. And make sure you find us on the TikToks and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and all the things.
Yeah, we're almost
on all the
at
things.
that 3,000 mark for our followers on TikTok. So you got to keep
fuck
pushing because then we can do more special live streams, which we haven't done in a while. We're slacking on that too. Fuck, I just dropped shit.
We are
Sorry.
We are slacking on the live streams, absolutely, and we might do one, and maybe we'll do some tarot readings.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Something for the holiday. We'll be back for the
back.
spookies. I'll be back. I'm not even a fan of that man. I can't stand him. He's an asshole. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know who you're talking about.
He's a dick. He's a dick. Complete
I
dick.
like his movies.
But I like Kindergarten Cop.
I love Terminator 2 and Predator. I like Kindergarten Cop. We'll leave it. Agree to disagree.
Yeah, we'll go there. That's cool. We're not gonna take away this lighthearted spooky season conversation. Anyways, until next time, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.